Good morning. Welcome back. We're going to continue with the conversation. You guys are all set there? You're all set? I think so. Yep. They haven't learned a parigraha to the fullest. They aren't consistent at their santosha practice either. So sometimes they have profound levels of santosha. They don't consistently have that. But we're going to continue this morning with our conversation about Ksama, which is the yama that we're working on this week. And its translation is forbearance, forgiveness, resilience, and also the word earth. So let's take a comfortable seat, please. You want to chase and play or sit and meditate? Okay, you have fun. Okay, please rest your hands in your lap. You're welcome to close your eyes. Welcome yourself to be here. If you're someone who's able to take a seat in a consistent place, in a consistent way, day to day, like you have a dedicated place where you practice. When you take your seat, then you can feel the way it welcomes you. It's like magnetically bringing you back into your practice. I sometimes have the sense that my practice is here waiting for me from where I last left off, as if you were reading a book and then you come back and you're right there in the book. And of course, we take our practice with us in daily life, but there is a sense of being welcomed back. If you don't yet have a consistent place where you practice, you might consider setting that up. You could also use the consistency of your seat to be the sense that you've come back. And of course, the consistency of the body and the breath. When you find yourself inhabiting your seat, then allow the breath to come and make that a little deeper. Yesterday, I mentioned that the term Ksama, this practice of resilience, is also comprised of things like porousness, so sensing our place in the larger world. That resilience is not a kind of hardening of an outer shell to buffer ourselves or to toughen something out. So when you have the breath deepening, try to sense the porousness of your actual nature. The breath coming in has a certain pathway, there's a certain structure, but you're depending on this atmosphere that surrounds you. The breath going out is leaving a certain structure, the physical body, but it's making a contribution to the atmosphere around you. And in such a way, we realize we actually are not separate from the atmosphere. It's not separate from us. May we in our practice this morning find our porousness, our pliability, our vulnerability, these qualities inside of resilience, our ability to adapt, to receive incoming information, to process and respond from a place of resilience. Please raise your hands to your heart. And we'll chant the Gayatri mantra this morning. Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurva Svaha Tatsaviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Bhurva Svaha Saviturvarenyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimai Dhiyo Yona Prachodayata Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha Hari Om. And with your exhale, you may bow your head to your heart. And release your hands. Open your eyes. You can lift your gaze and just try to take in this surround. I'm calling it the atmosphere that we're a part of. And as I said yesterday, it's not that our personhood ends at the skin of our body. We have a skin suit. I sometimes like to call it that. We are embodied here. There are resources here. There's memory and anticipation. There's potential. There's inspiration and courage, but there's also this surround that we are as well a part of. So just taking that in, let's take the arms out to the side, palms face up. And as you inhale, raise your arms and raise your gaze up to meet your thumbs. And exhale, open the arms, take your gaze towards your left thumb. Follow it down without moving the head down. Inhale, raise your gaze. Come up to center. Exhale, open to the right. And as you're gazing down, 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 look down over your right shoulder without moving the head down. Inhale, raise your arms and your gaze. Rotate to center, find your thumbs. And then exhale, follow your thumbs until you see your fingertips. And with the head level, gaze down towards the tips of the fingers. Okay, inhale, reach forward, gaze at your thumbs. Now exhale, open to your left and your right, gaze to your left. Inhale to center. Exhale, open to your right and your left, gaze to your right. Inhale to center. And exhale, hands to the heart, gaze at your fingertips. Close the eyes for a moment. Now clasp the hands. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead. Keeping the eyes closed, look up behind your eyebrows. Exhale, look down below the cheekbones. Inhale, look up behind your eyebrows. Keeping your head centered, exhale, open the arms, press out through the heels of your hands, gaze to your right. Inhale, gaze left. Exhale, gaze down under the cheekbones, bring your hands to your heart. Again, clasp the hands. Inhale, raise the arms up and raise your gaze up behind your eyebrows. Exhale, push out, keep your head centered and gaze to your right, as if you could see your right thumb. Inhale, gaze left smoothly. Exhale, gaze down below your cheekbones, join your hands to your heart. Rest your hands in your lap and deeply relax. Just assess the influence already in your yoga practice. Take the left leg out straight and the right knee up to your chest, right foot flat on the floor. Clasp your hands. Make the hands fixed firm to the base of the shin, and inhale, raise up through your heart. Open the throat, set the shoulders back. And then exhale, bring your head to level, wrap your left hand around your right shin, twist to your right. Now, as you're twisting to the right here, turn your head just as far as it comfortably goes. And then as you exhale, take your gaze a little further to the right. Inhale, rest your gaze. Exhale further to the right with the eyes. Inhale, rest your gaze. Exhale, gaze right. Rotate around to face center. Let's switch. Take the right leg forward. Clasp your hands at the base of your left shin. Inhale to pull up, open the throat. Roll the shoulders back. Use the traction or the tension of your hands and arms to lift the heart, the collarbones, and your chin. And then level your head off, please, and wrap your right hand around, twist to your left. They get a sense that even though the eyes are closed, you're gazing to your left, and that gaze deepens on the exhale, relaxes on the inhale. Once more, exhale, gaze to your left. And then rotate around to face forward. Cross your ankles. This is called Tsukasana. Take your hands out over your knees. Deeply relax and notice again if you get a glimpse of the influence on your porousness, your presence. A glimpse of your ability to feel the world around you, to know you're a part of it, and also to be felt by the world around you. Please come over to table pose, leaving space for one foot to step out to the side. Place your hands in table pose, the knees also, and then step your right foot out to the right so the toes point forward. And in this position, now we're going to inhale to cat pose. So take the tailbone down. You might feel the right lower back a little more because of the position that we're in. And then exhale, roll the pelvis to come into cow pose. Take your sitting bones back, lift your tailbone up. Inhale to cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat pose. And when you come into cat pose, notice you have a posterior tilt on the pelvis. Exhale, roll back towards child's pose. Point the toes of your right foot straight up. Inhale, roll forward to cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Again, inhale to cat. Exhale, roll back, and the toes of the right foot can point up. Roll your right knee up. And once more, inhale forward to cat pose. Exhale to cow pose. Glide the sitting bones back. Bring your heart forward. And then bring the spine into neutral. Press into your left arm. Inhale, twist to your right. Follow your thumb. Exhale, take your right thumb down, under and through. Keep the left arm straight. Inhale, follow your right thumb, open to the twist. And exhale, follow your thumb. We're going down, under, reach past the left forearm. Once more, inhale to open. And exhale, come under. And then please come down to your forearms. Okay, and inhale to cat pose. Exhale, reach back towards child's pose. What you can do is point the arms like an arrow. So when you're on the forearms and then you reach back to child's pose, lift the elbows and press the pinky finger side of the hands down against the floor. And then inhale forward to cat. And exhale to cow pose. Bring your heart forward. Once more, inhale to cat pose. Exhale, reach back to child's pose. Straighten your elbows, press the pinky finger side of the hand down against the floor. You can also lift your wrists. Inhale to cat. And exhale to cow pose. Now slide the right leg to the right. Walk the elbows to center. And become aware of your pelvic tilt. So I didn't remember to tell you, let's bring the pelvis to neutral. So it's not actually in cat or cow. Bring the pelvis to neutral. And as you slide the right leg out, you might feel the upper inner right thigh, of course. You know, this whole section of the, the body. So breathe in, breathe out. And now staying on the elbows, walk your right leg and your elbows back to center. So you're kind of where you started, right? And then place the right forearm across the front of the mat. And please twist to your left. Raise the left arm up. And then exhale and come down. Place the hands and step your right foot back to table pose. You take the left leg out to the side, turn your toes to point forward, and inhale to cat pose. You might feel your left lower back. Exhale, reach back to child's pose, turn the toes of your left foot towards the ceiling. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, cow pose. Inhale to cat. Exhale, child's pose. Glide smoothly back as you rotate your left knee and toes towards the ceiling. Inhale, roll up to cat. Exhale, roll through to cow pose. We'll do that one more time. Listen for the smoothness of the breath and try to get a sense of the places where your pliability, your adaptability is already there, and the places where you want to increase that. So as you roll through, if you have familiar places of mobility, look for the places that might want to increase mobility. Any place that has to increase stability. Let's bring the pelvis to neutral. Press down firmly with your right arm. And inhale, follow your left thumb up to a twist. Exhale, down, under, and through. Keep the right arm straight. Inhale to open. Exhale, come down, under, and through. Keep the right arm straight. One more time, inhale to open. And exhale, come down. Place your left hand and then come onto your forearms and slide the left leg farther out to the left. Walk your elbows to your left. Oh, I missed the cat cows there. We'll have to come back to it. Oh, I guess we can do it here. Why not? Inhale to cat pose. You might find that the left inner thigh is like very enthusiastic as you come into cow pose here. So listen when you're moving through, and I was saying a bit back, like if the body feels pliable, flexible, supple, where is that happening? Where do you sense that it's not now happening? And can you bring your awareness to a place and invite, not pressure, some additional pliability or flexibility? And bring yourself to what you would think of as neutral for the pelvis. And let's walk the left foot back in, walk the elbows back to the sort of starting position. Cross your left forearm on the front of your mat and twist to your right. You can raise the right arm up. You might be aware right now of how little pliability you have in a twist like this. This is a pretty fixed position. So when you come down, remind yourself like this is a really open position. And this is a fixed, more of a fixed position, right? So between an open position and a fixed position, how does your mind respond? Right. So come to Vajrasana, please. And in Vajrasana, take notice. What is happening now with the head, neck, and shoulders, or with your mind? And we're going to check into that opening position and the more fixed position going in both directions. So let's come down to the elbows. Place your right foot out to the side. Let's bring the left forearm down across the mat. Right forearm on top of the left. So that's a very fixed position. Relax the weight of your head on the back of your forearms. And as you glide the hips back, point the toes of the right foot up.
You may not be able to go all the way back while keeping the elbows where they are. So listen for the mobility you do have and give stability where it's needed. And then roll yourself forward. So you're going to be on the elbows, put the right foot flat down. Place your right forearm on the floor. And this is going to be a back and forth position. So let's inhale, open to the left. Exhale, place the left palm down. Inhale, open to your right. Exhale, come down, place the right forearm. Inhale, open to your left. Exhale, place the left hand down. Inhale, follow your right thumb. Exhale, coming down. Place your forearm and inhale, open to your left. And then exhale, stack the two forearms, rest your head on the back of your hands, glide the hips back, point the toes of your right foot up towards the ceiling. It is okay if you can't make it all the way back. Your hips might not reach your heels right now. And then please roll forward, place your hands, step your right foot in, step your left leg out. Come down to the forearms, rest your forehead there. And as you glide your hips back, roll your left toes up towards the ceiling and just check and see, where do you have mobility? Where do you lack mobility? What is your response to that? Where do you feel porous and pliable? Porous and pliable. And then roll this forward. Okay, press down through your left forearm and inhale, open to your right. That's the more fixed of the two twists. Exhale, place your right palm down. Inhale, open to your left. Exhale, come down with the left forearm. Inhale, twist to your right. Exhale, place the right hand down. Notice how you maintain integrity even when there's a limitation or a more fixed position. Now you maintain integrity in the open position. I'll do it one more time. Inhale, twist to your right. And exhale, place the right palm down. Follow your left thumb. And exhale, place your left palm, sweep the left foot back, please, into Vajrasana and come to kneeling. Let us sense your capacity to be open to the surround, right? The surround of life, which isn't always beautiful and sometimes needs us to be like a warrior of integrity or peace or resilience. I put my glasses aside and let's come up to surya namaskar, please. You can place your two blocks. Step yourself forward and up. As you rise up to standing, come to the front of your mat, palms together at your heart. Listen inside for your desire for resilience is probably there. Maybe your comfort level with porousness or vulnerability is not 100% yet. Maybe some parts of you think of resilience or forbearance as toughing something out. So see if those parts could soften a little. With your Ujjayi breath, now take the hands down, turn your palms forward, raise up and look up. And then exhale and bow forward, come down to Uttanasana. Inhale, glide forward through your heart. Exhale for a deep bow over the legs. Look back on the floor behind towards the back of your mat. Inhale smoothly on the floor as you glide forward. Maybe yesterday's dust bunny is still right there. Exhale, take the left toes straight back. Gaze down between your hands and your right foot. Inhale, rise into your crescent. Okay, exhale, follow your right thumb out to the side. Inhale, raise and follow your gaze. Exhale, open to your right, follow your thumb. Inhale, rise up, being smooth as you're able to, and accepting the bobbles and the wobbles that might also be coming. And then exhale, take the arms wide, trace the wall, the floor, come down to the spot between your hands and your foot. Inhale backwards, downward dog pose. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rise to your crescent. Okay, exhale, open, take your gaze to your left, following your left thumb. Inhale, raise. Also lift your gaze so the thumbs meet overhead. And then exhale to open. Be as smooth as you're able to while also accepting the bobbles and the wobbles. And then exhale, trace the ceiling, the wall, the floor until you come down with your gaze between your hands and your left foot. Inhale, step backwards. Exhale, forward to plank pose. Inhale to seal pose. Exhale, plank. Inhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, right foot forward, left knee down. Trace a smooth line on the floor as you inhale to rise up and look up as your thumbs meet. Exhale to open. Follow your right thumb. Inhale, raise the arms. Follow your thumb. Again. Now trace the line in front of you, returning smoothly. Gaze down between your hands and your right foot. Inhale, straighten both legs slowly and keep your gaze steady where it is. And then as you exhale, bow over your right leg and look towards the back edge of your mat again. Take your next exhale slowly through to the basic lunge pose. Aina Kula. Inhale to downward dog pose. Okay, exhale, left foot forward and right knee down, Anjaneyasana. Inhale, rise. Lift your gaze up to your thumbs. And exhale, follow your left thumb. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, follow your left thumb. Inhale, raise up. One more time, exhale, follow your left thumb. And last one, raise up. Then exhale, trace the line in front of you and down along the floor, arriving on the ground there. Inhale, step 2, downward dog pose. Gaze towards the back of your yoga mat. Okay, exhale to plank pose, gaze down between your hands. Inhale to seal pose without crushing your kitten. Exhale, plank pose. And inhale, downward facing dog pose. Exhale, step 1 foot forward, then the second foot forward. Come to Uttanasana. Look towards the back of the yoga mat. Inhale, rise up. Trace your eyes on the floor, the wall, and then up overhead. And hands down to the heart. Gaze at your fingertips. And then close the eyes. And stand really still. Please bend both knees. And let's actually, let me just check. Yeah, there you are. Bend your knees, come down to your block, step the left foot back, and pivot the left heel to the floor. So the back foot can be like the angle you would use for Virabhadrasana 1, a little bit more of a forward angle than when you do Virabhadrasana 2. Let's put both blocks to the inside of the right shin and come down to your forearms, please. Now, it's not the case that everyone comfortably comes down to their forearms here, so you could make the blocks taller. You could stay up on the hands. You could add blocks to the situation. I would like you to try to keep your right thigh hugged in towards the center so your knee is not wandering out to the right. So in a position like this, you are compressing the right hip joint. There's going to be a circulation release that comes. We also have a more fixed position, not a more open position. So I'd like you to cross your left forearm over both blocks, and possibly you'll hold your left hand on your right shin. And then with the right arm, twist to your right. Resist the urge to drop the left hip down towards the floor. So your twist has integrity from the back heel into your pelvis, up through the heart, and even to your gaze, seeking out your right thumb. And we're going to exhale and come back down. Place the forearms on the blocks again. Relax the weight of your head. So this is purposeful compression of the right hip joint and the circulation going down the femoral artery. Let's place both hands on the two blocks for a few moments and straighten your arms. Root the tailbone. And then as you press firmly into your right arm, begin to open the right hip joint, which means that your pelvis is not resting on your right thigh. And as you open, you're going to be able to rotate your pelvis to your left and then raise your left arm up to the twist. So this is a more open position, obviously. requires some inner thigh flexibility and space enough for the right hip to allow the pelvis to rotate. And then come down. Place your forearms. Now we wanted that right thigh to be stable through the transition. You have just sort of increased the compression once again. You've closed the right hip joint. Pivot the left heel up behind you. Place both hands on the blocks once again and pick up your right foot. So your right knee is against your right arm. Then step back to plank pose. And notice the warmth going down your right leg. You reach back to downward dog. Step your left foot forward. We're going to change sides. So put the blocks to the inside. Pivot your right heel to the floor. And come down to your forearms. As you're coming down, keep reaching back through the upper inner right thigh towards your right heel. And then the left outer hip snugs into center, so your left knee is not wandering off to the left. You can relax the weight of your head. Press firmly down through your left heel so your toes and your heel are bearing the equal responsibility. And cross your right forearm over. Hold your left shin with your right fingers. Twist to your left. Keep the integrity in the right leg. And in your heart and even in your gaze. Right, so you don't take the left arm farther back than you can still see your left thumb. And then exhale, lower that one down. Return to this more inward, more fixed position. Place your hands. Okay, so press the right heel down. Notice that you've just opened the left hip joint a bit just by coming up to the hands and arms. Now lift the left hip bone off of your left thigh bone so you've opened the gateway for circulation. Then root your tailbone down towards your right heel and open to your right. Gaze up towards your right thumb. Keep the left inner thigh long and the back leg strong. And then we're going to exhale, come down, touch the two blocks once again, come to your forearms. So you're getting acquainted with the sense of compressing and then opening, and soon we'll be decompressing the hip joint. Let's place both hands. So your arms and hands are getting ready for plank pose with the two blocks. Pick up your right heel, then pick up your left heel and pick up your left foot. So your knee is fixed against your left arm. Then step it back, plank, and downward dog. And step one foot forward, second foot forward, Uttanasana. This is also compression for the hips. And then rise up to standing. And bring your hands to your heart. Now, as you stand really still in mountain pose, let the arms come down. Close your eyes. And sense how your body is orienting while it's also recalibrating the circulation. close the eyes and you have your feet hip distance apart. You probably feel quite balanced. Now try it with the 2 feet touching, eyes closed. Notice any bit of sway, any of the wobbles or the bobbles. Turn your gaze inside with the eyes closed. Turn your gaze to the right. Smoothly to your left. Rolling up behind the eyebrows. Down to your right. Down under the cheekbones. And to the left. Return to center. Okay, please bring your yoga chair onto your mat or whatever chair you use for yoga. I'm calling it your yoga chair. Okay, and we're going to come down onto the floor with the 2 blocks close by. So I want to give a little opportunity here for those who don't slide backwards off of this chair to shoulder stand comfortably. We're going to do it in a slightly different way. And a reminder that we have some yoga therapy clinics on the schedule now. I added those back. And one of the benefits to doing it in this format is that we have a lot of yoga teachers who have just been certified at their 500-hour level and some at the 800-hour level. So they're going to come into those yoga therapy clinics to assist you. So it's not just that you'll be learning as I'm talking and showing, but we're going to be using more individualized attention because they'll come into a breakout room with you and a couple of others and give you more targeted individual support. So this is when we slide backwards off the chair, that's one method for coming into shoulder stand or to get the good medicine of shoulder stand. This is another way to do that. So put the 2 blocks on either side of the chair for right now, and then place your hips and put your shins up on the chair seat. When you come into this position, you don't have any blankets to organize right now. You're not lying on blankets for the shoulders. So the bridge pose is going to have a little bit more closure to it, a little more compression. I'd like to move my chair to the right. I'm trying to get you a better view. Okay, so what we're going to be compressing then is that we actually close the throat in shoulder stand. It's more of a closed Udana Vayu position. You'll also have some compression for the shoulder girdle because of how you hold the chair toes and what you do with the shoulders. And then on the release of that, we should feel this nice circulation coming back through the whole body. So let's start with, can you reach the toes of your chair? Are those available to you? Then put your feet on the front, pick up your hips and place the blocks under the back of your pelvis so they make a little triangle shape like the shape of the sacrum. And ask yourself if you can still reach your toe chairs, your chair toes, whatever you want to call that. Okay, if you can still reach them, then you know you're in a position where you can start this process. Okay, so now tuck each shoulder under the heart and take the legs up to candlestick pose. Use the strength of the upper back to keep lifting the heart and the strength of the shoulder girdles to continue to press the shoulders down towards the floor. And in your candlestick pose, close the eyes and watch what's happening inside the body. Touch the feet to the seat of the chair. Excuse me. And then lift your hips up. Put the two blocks aside. Hold the toes of your chair. Snug the shoulders under. Now you have an active form of the pose. Place your two blocks. Roll your hips down. Take the legs up. Keep the heart open in bridge pose. Continue to keep your gaze inside. On the knees, place the feet on the seat of the chair. Raise your hips up. Put the two blocks out of reach. Well, out from underneath you. Keep them within reach. Roll the shoulders back. Raise your heart and your hips up. Take the two blocks and stack them. One is flat, the other is flat, and they go right under the back of the pelvis. So your candlestick pose is going to be higher. Take the legs up. It's only a little bit higher, but if it's a little bit higher too much for you, then go back to the two blocks in the triangle position. We're going to come down to Shavasana from here. So we have time for Pranayama Meditation. So what you do is you're going to place your feet on the seat of the chair, lift your hips, put the two blocks aside, and then lower your hips down towards the floor. And then put your shins up on the chair seat and come to a resting position. I have a cat stuck underneath me, so I'll adapt my Shavasana. Put the feet up on the upper back of the chair. Tip the chair so your feet are now still higher than your knees. Your knees are higher than your hips, and this fluid motion back towards the heart and the head. You can feel that as your circulation. Turn the palms face up, please. When you come down into a Shavasana like this, let the mind also come down. So feeling that the ground beneath you is welcoming you right now. We are not only porous with the atmosphere around us, but also with the earth beneath us. Shoulderstand is a very powerful pose, as are all inversions. It's influencing the body on a number of levels, like multiple systems. Give yourself intentional permission to deeply relax. Sense that which is porous about you. And not only that which is porous, but also that which is welcoming of the vulnerability of life that contributes to resilience. Your body to rest and receive. Sense this porousness, not only with the atmosphere, but also with the earth beneath you. With the process, so you're welcoming the integration, the return to porousness and peace. yourself to go a few degrees more deeply, resting into the porousness and the peace. When you sense the peace or the porousness that you can return to, start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Thank you, Nakula. Rotate your head side to side. And then pause with a little bit of alertness here and go into the body to feel a memory making moment where the peace or porousness of this moment you could sense is not being left behind as we transition. And roll to your right side. Use your hands to come up to sit. Yes, Nakula, you've been notifying me. Yes. Please take a seat. Hey, you want to take a seat? Would you like to? Okay. When you rise up, go ahead and rest your hands in your lap and see if you're able to bring some of that sort of peace and porousness with you. Bring into our hearts the citizens of Ukraine and Russia and all who are influenced by the circumstances. Bring into your heart the world. And notice the quality of heart you have at the moment for that invitation. Raising the right hand up, we're going to do Nadi Shodhana. Begin at your own pace. It's inhale left, exhale right, and then inhale right, and exhale left. And I'd like us to do 2 rounds, which is 4 breath cycles. It should bring a little alertness to your 6th chakra.
Release the right hand down when you've completed those 2 rounds. Your porousness to stay open. While also maintaining that inner sense of peace. Raise your hands to your heart. Spirit of peace, to your cause we give our strength, that love may reign and war may cease. Mir miru mir, mir miru mir, mir miru mir. May we understand our resilience not only as sort of toughing something out. There is an inner strength in resilience. There is also a sense of porousness, vulnerability. And in our resilience, we deepen our integrity inside. We become more aligned with our inner integrity, not more distant from it. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Namaste. I'll just close the recording so I can be with you.